Basketball, 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 football, 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 football. Cries in Filipino. Unfortunately for these islands, they aren't surrounded by places that love the same sport as they do. Pretty much across the board, their favorite sport is basketball. But whether their neighboring countries come from Southeast Asia, Indonesia, or even all the way across the Pacific, they're surrounded by football fans. Or soccer for Americans. However, funny enough, there is one place next to them that likes basketball. I think they just try their best to ignore that one. It looks like everything is in order. Welcome to the Philippines. You know, last time Watashi was here, Watashi didn't need a passport. Wait, what? Ah, yes, traveling the continent anywhere, says Japan in their flashback, before I came back to reality. Why are you still here, Godzilla? Yeah, so last time Japan was exploring the Asian continent, they didn't need a passport. Of course, they also had a different look back then as well. But yeah, you aren't really supposed to use that flag anymore. Causes too many horrific flashbacks. We're talking World War II and how far the Japanese Empire got during that time. Yes, they even conquered literally all of the Philippines. I don't know how a lot of these places would feel about making Japan great again. Here is the Bifrost. This is the bridge between this place are Shithale and Asgard. Asgard is the home of God's OG. This is where the Valhalla is. They said us poor mortals cannot into climb it. They said that only chosen ones can climb it. Good, I'll show them. I will go up there and we'll see if Norge cannot into Bifrost. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Yeah, basically in Norse mythology, this is a rainbow bridge. Wait, you're sure it's a good idea? We don't know how everything will look there. I don't care. I will go as high as I can. Here they are climbing. Norway Ball, determined to make it. Oh man, they're still going. It's been hours of climbing. I hope I make it soon. Huh? What is this? Is it the gods who welcome me? Italia, #1! Oh, it looks like Norway's fallen off the Rainbow Road. Ouch! What was that? Did the sky fall over my head? Mysterious, shadowy figure appears. Oh, yes, I've seen this one before. But instead of a thwomp trap like in Mario, it's actually Imperial Germany. Well, if Norway's goal was to make it to the afterlife, they certainly did. This is obviously comparing Norse mythology's Rainbow Bridge to the Rainbow Road from Mario Kart games. There does seem to be a little bit of similarities here. Maybe that's where this Norse mythology comes from. Have they been playing Mario Kart over there for like thousands of years? Although when they started playing it, you would use horses instead. Finland, why do you drink more coffee than everyone else? Asks Switzerland. That's an easy one to explain. During the longest nights, evil awakens and will take you if you lose focus for a moment. The Naki will drown children and cause madness. Well, that wasn't traumatizing at all. Finland is one of the world's biggest consumers of coffee. That is on a per-person basis. Although the data is still debated on who's actually #1. It is said that the average Finn consumes 4 cups a day. Is that even healthy? I mean, I like coffee myself, but 4? And apparently that might all be due to this Naki sort of creature, which apparently drowns children in a lake. Why is European folklore always so horrifying? You know, I really wanted to go to Finland before, but now I'm not so sure. I guess it really just depends on what form this thing's actually taking. Anyways, apparently Finland drinks a lot of coffee because they have way too many horrifying folklore stories. Another great rally, sir. Yeah, but what do the polls say? We're 3 weeks out from the election and we need to know what the public's thinking. Please indicate as of right now which candidate you'll be supporting. What? Unfortunately, I think these polls are unreliable. I feel like I've never made a connection between polls and polls before. This truly does bring a whole new meaning to what do the polls say. Apparently in the US, we really care about their opinion. I wonder what the polls think about our political situation. Oh, look, it's Poland getting ready for Halloween. They're doing a flashback costume of what they used to look like. Here they are hopping away as winged hussars. Of course, they're going to Germany's house first. They obviously have the best candy. It's now time for Ukrainia's house. Now, which place will we hit up next? Wait, I just realized Germany gave money and Ukraine gave a grenade. Oh no, it's time for Russia's house of trick or trick. Boom, they slam the door. Of trick it is, din, says Poland. Oh no, don't hit the button. This is a reference to the all too famous NATO Article 5 meme. Usually the one pressing this is Poland. So yeah, if they hit this button, that means NATO goes to war with Russia, basically. And according to the memes, there's no country that wants to do this more than Poland themselves. Probably just for some payback reasons. They've got a lot of historical beef. Surprised Poland didn't have their best buddy Lithuania trick-or-treating with them. Dios mio! There's a terrible war in Europe, says Ecuador. Is a good thing that it's so peaceful here. Yes, obviously it's 1941. Right, Peru, says Ecuador. Right, Peru. I think the heavy breathing should be concerning. This is a very unknown war that took place in a different continent during the middle of World War II. This is the Sinipan War that lasted 34 days in 1941. And it was actually the first of 3 different wars that took place between Ecuador and Peru. This was the disputed territory here, but neither the Allies or the Axis got involved, obviously. I mean, at this time, it was complete chaos. It was kind of hard to do anything else. And believe it or not, that is not the only South American war that took place around World War II. There's also the Chaco War between Paraguay and Bolivia in 1935. Hey Germany, wanna hear a joke? Sure, they respond. Let's see how funny Austria Hungary can be. What did the Austrians say to the Ottoman cashier? What, they ask. Take any checks? Yeah, I would probably respond in the exact same way. Germany's been hearing this same joke for years. It is funny this conversation is being had between Austria Hungary and Germany though, and there's a mention of an Ottoman. So this was basically the Central Powers during World War I. Also, Austria Hungary had the Czechs during this time as well. It's funny that sometimes they refer to modern day Switzerland or modern day Belgium as being these Frankenstein nations, but I don't think they'll ever be as big of a Frankenstein nation as Austria Hungary. Like even Yugoslavia doesn't compete at the level that Austria-Hungary did. This place is literally the personification of just like dead body parts being stitched together to form this weird thing. And of course, they did not last after World War I. Thanks for posting this subreddit. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Russia. This definitely doesn't look like an evil base. Alright, everyone's make with calm and shut ups. Thanks for coming. Oh, these are some extremely different balls here. A lot of balls I don't even think I've ever seen before. Now, we all know our bad lands has made us stop with bombings. We needs to use time to figures out what to make do. We not knowing that, I'm still relevant. We must make banner under communism. Of course, led by me. I'm assuming this is the Soviets. Is fine as long as me's. You wish, Marshall boys. Oh, everyone was in agreement on that first part that they should all unite under communism, but not under, this guy, of course. All these balls literally saying, no, frick no, would rather die. No, what we must do is unite under democracy. Yeah, led by me, of course. Wait, what? Yeah, no. No, and are you freaking kidding? What we needs to do is dig up Papa Soviet and rebuild him to soldier super of parts with robots and like 5. I think what we need to do is unite under a no-no Germany. He doesn't represent us all. So what we're seeing here is all these different ideologies trying to unite Russia under a single ideology. The problem is they might fall within one of the 3 camps of ideologies, but they can't get the specifics down. Hey Czar boys, you got anything to add? Meanwhile, these two just fighting away. Whatever, you're just a bunch of babies anyways. Yeah, how much for a flight from this godforsaken hellhole to Australia? Do you have time to make talk of the great trial? Gotta admit, I love his insanity. Oh, trust me, that doesn't even come close to insane. Come on, Clays, can we not agree to at least just do one thing? Dear diary, everyone sucks. Meanwhile, fighting in the background, people are annoying each other. This guy's just hissing at the other. Wanna buy nuke? This black ball says he thinks everyone should just all oof each other. Oh, right, you exist. That same black ball gets his head shot off. Among Us? Okay, so we agree on that. Is progress. Literally the only thing all these balls could agree on was to oof this guy. So, okay, they really are kind of making progress. Oh, this one shot him with a rocket launcher. If you are extremely confused right now, don't worry, you're kind of supposed to be. Unless, of course, you're a fan of a certain Hoi 4 mod. That comic is basically referring to TNO, or the New World Order mod. It's basically an alternative history where the Axis win World War II. So that means Germany, Italy, and Japan basically control the world. And with that being the case, that means modern-day Russia looks like this. That is why there were so many different random balls we were seeing somewhere in the middle of Russia. These are all the different ideologies inside of that modern-day territory, and they're trying their best to all unite behind something. This guy just wanted to revive the former Soviet Union, which would have collapsed in this universe due to the No-No Germans. So they're dead now, but they wanted to bring them back from the dead. But just like during the Russian Civil War during World War I, there were a bunch of different factions, a bunch of different ideologies. I mean, yes, there was communism, but a lot of different ways you could handle communism, a lot of different specifics when it comes to democracies. Again, they can agree on fascism, but they couldn't agree on exactly what type to do. It was basically just making fun of the fact that this country just cannot come together under one government in this alternative history, which it's hard to say exactly what would happen in a scenario like this where the Axis win, but yeah, I can agree with that. Russia would probably be in absolute chaos like that. We can probably all agree with that exact same thing. And that is why you are all different and unique, right, Kenya? Dad, I'm Cyprus. Dad, I'm over here. Haha, I have the most original flag. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union with their binoculars spying on the conversation. Silly imperialists. They make their clay all look the same, right? I think that's Armenia. No, I'm this place. Comrade, I'm here. Meanwhile, haha, Georgia has the original flag. Then there's Mongolia. China will never have me from there. So we're talking about the similarities between the British Empire and the Soviet Union. And for some reason, how they both kind of went with similar styles to make all their puppets, vassals, states, territories all look similar. A little bit too similar to the point where it got extremely confusing. Like, look at this ball and compare it to this ball. Like, how are you even supposed to tell the difference? Same with these two. I mean, there's so many British Union jacks in the corner. I have no idea. Like, I can't get it down. I'll probably never learn them all. Argentina will never get me from up here. Okay, there's the Falkland Islands. What's hilarious about the Mongolian reference is they really wanted to join the Soviet Union, but the Soviets didn't let them. But man, their flag already matches perfectly almost with this style. To be fair, the French Empire also kind of did something similar, but at the same time, there are places that were a little bit more unique, and I think it's like less difficult to mix these up. There's definitely a way to make your territories look uniform without all looking the same. Just look at the way Japan does it. What happened to the bloody peasants? Give brains. Oh no, it seems like they've turned into zombies, says France. That's just way too bloody many. How do I get rid of them? Oh, they're hiding on this car. Oh, those are all zombie heads. Britain's gonna try to save them. Blimey, since I can't beat them, I'll give them what they want. Hold still, frog. Leo, go fetch, you little buggers. Yeet. I think they all went away. Woo. Wow, that worked. Bleh. Meanwhile, France is dead. So they were all just after France's brain? Does this have to do with like the French monarchists cutting off people's heads, guillotines, things like that, peasants? Oh no, it's because there's a town in France actually called Brains. Oh, that's what they were peeling out of them. The zombies wanted brains, and well, they got it from France. But at what cost? For a second there, I thought this was going to be a joke about how the UK doesn't have a brain. That would have worked too. And big thanks to the patrons. Drew, I'm your dad, back with the milk. Look outside. JohnDenver, LuxembourgLover. I can't sleep without Drew's voice. Aaron, Amateur Archaeology, Carmel, Fredrik Tibblin, GoodOldRyah, InquisitorXarius, annoying friend, KirinoIsBestGirl, RyeThePie, sebby. If you hear this, I love you. And why am I doing this?